Hello and welcome to week 4 of CNET52. Let me share my screen and I'll just go over what we're going to cover this week. All right, so hold on, let me share the right screen. There we go. That's the correct screen I want to share. So if you look this week, you can see here's our weekly video, our discussion. Again, your initial post is due by Wednesday. Your 2 peer responses are due on Sunday night, right? Then we have our lab, which will be on Thursday in room 404 at 6:30 p.m. Then you also have another weekly quiz, which you've been, almost all of you have been doing real good on those. So, but I do want to share, briefly go over the PowerPoint. Let this load up real quick. All right. So this week it's covering the processor. So the objectives here describe the function and features of a CPU, the design, and then some of the modern CPU features. So the first thing is that the computer really is built around the CPU. The CPU is the brain of the computer, so everything goes around it. And early computers, most client computers have one chip, which means it's a single processor. And then most processors today have multiple cores. Multi-processor means there's more than one CPU socket. The CPU, it reads data directly from memory in what's known as the reset vector. And that's the address that a CPU begins reading from whenever the CPU receives a reset signal. All right. So this first question here is, what part of the CPU is responsible for reading and executing machine code? And that is the core, right? The core actually interacts with the machine code, which is the programming language for the CPU itself. All right. And then there's some more information here about CPUs, some of the buses, how they interact with the buses. You should know these 3 main buses, right? The control bus, the address bus, and the data bus. So you should be able to identify those by name and be able to say where they communicate with, right? What does the CPU on the control bus, what does it communicate with? And the address bus, and then the data bus. All right. Here's some ways we can classify some of the hardware elements of the CPU. Of course, the architecture, the speed, the cache, the bus, the address bus, data bus, control bus, and then the CPU scheduling. I'm going to leave some of these for you to read over. And then there's a section in here about the architecture. And this goes back many, many years with the early CPUs, with the CISC and the RISC, where a CISC is a complex instruction set computer, and then RISC is a reduced instruction set computer. And you can look at that information. And then, of course, just like every week, we will have the quiz and then the lab, right? So that's it for this week's video. It's going to be short. I just want to cover what's going on. This is week 4. We're a quarter of the way through the course. Most of you are doing extremely well as far as getting maximum benefit from the points that are available. So I would encourage you to keep that up, and I'll talk to you later.